The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Kalshi. Make it real money predicting sports. Kalshi is available in all 50 states. You get $20 free with promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, promo code SGPN. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no the guy. It's me, really real, feeling real, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. All right, Pistons nursing a 6-point lead at halftime. The Pelicans are in a 6-point game with 5 minutes and 24 seconds left in the fourth quarter against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Bucks are down 19. And the Nets down 10 to the Phoenix Suns right now. My co-host, Scott Reichel. Oh, wait. Nope. Now it's not 11. Scott Reichel. Those are your Nets. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
Yeah, doing well. Back-to-back sweeps, actually. I did a show with Lonte last night. Of course, since we're doing night shows now, the previous day's action doesn't officially end yet, so I couldn't fully recap the sweep from 2 episodes ago. But yeah, can't complain. 4-0 so far in the last 2 episodes. Feels good. Ended up winning with I had a sweat there 2 days ago. I had the Trailblazers money line parlayed with, the Trailblazers plus 8.5 with the under. And that got there because they lost by 8. So they actually covered by the hook. That worked out well for me. And then for the games on Tuesday, I had a couple of first half plays. I had the Sixers, a first half minus 5.5. They ended up covering. And I had the Wizards, a first half money line, and that got there too. So back-to-back sweeps, pretty good start to the week, and we'll try to keep it rolling here for Wednesday.
Yeah, chat's talking about how Cat was 5 for 15 today.
They covered, so that's all that matters, right?
I guess. Hard times. Got a lot to talk about here, Scott. Number of games here on the slate. Some teams on a back-to-back. Gonna get through all of it, but first got to make sure I tell everybody to go tap into the SGPN app. Get it available for free over there in the App Store, Google Play Store, whatever store. Make sure you go check out, get over our picks and podcasts over there in the SGPN app. All right, let's see here. Let's go ahead and start talking about the action. I haven't been up here all week, so I'm really looking forward to breaking down the slate with you. Cleveland at home, welcoming the Los Angeles Lakers. Cleveland is laying 2.5, 235.5 is the total. Let's see what we can find of an injury report out already. Okay, Reeves is out. You've got DeAndre Hunter, looks like questionable. Darius Garland out. Merrill, let's see, is that a questionable tag on Merrill? I think I saw that pop across my screen earlier today. Hold on. I feel like I saw that pop up on the screen earlier today. Something about Sam Merrill. Let's see here. Underdog. Scrolling. Yep, probable. Sam Merrill is probable. I knew I saw something about Sam Merrill pop up on the screen earlier today. Evan Mobley expecting to miss 1 to 3 weeks with the calf injury.
I mean, I'm going to ask you because the Lakers had a nice win against Chicago. The Cavaliers had a nice win against Orlando. Had them as my lock a couple episodes ago, and Mitchell had 45. Because the Magic can never guard him. I mean, I'll ask you, because Cleveland, I believe, has now won 6 of the last 7. Do you think Cleveland's figured it out, or do you think it's just one of those, the season's long, they're going to be up and down, but it appears right now they're in decent form? Do you think Cleveland's figuring it out, or do you think it's just I'd say just an upswing for this team that'll eventually come crashing back down.
I do think it'll come crashing back down to a certain extent. I think they're just, I think that you're basically hit on the head. They're kind of in the upswing right now. They kind of figured things out. They're playing pretty solid defense in different spots, and they've been able to do enough. And Donovan Mitchell does what he does. He gives them a really good game, and they win. So the issue is that I don't have a lot of respect for the Cavs, but I definitely don't like the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a believer in this. Lakers won 4 of their last 5 games. I'm not really impressed of it. I think that Lakers team that lost to the Clippers is who they really are and how they can look in spots. Is Cleveland at home? I think I'll go with Cleveland at home. No Evan Mobley really concerns me. I think that's the thing that I don't like.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I don't really trust the Lakers at all, but Mobley's been really good for this team, especially defensively. I know people kind of, give him some criticisms for being Mr. 18-8. That's still a pretty good stat line. I know that he has not really blossomed into being a superstar, which is what people were hoping he would become, and he's kind of plateaued. 18-8 is still a very solid stat line when you're the number 2 option on a team. So him being out is a pretty big deal. I think I will go with the Lakers in this game, mainly because I just want to see how the Cavaliers look without him. He's going to be out about 1 to 3 weeks with a calf injury. Looking at the actual games this season, he has been pretty durable in the games that he ended up missing. He had a stretch there where in the middle to late December, he ended up missing 5 games, and they went 2-3 without him. So far this season, they are 3-3 when he doesn't play. So I kind of need a bigger sample, but I'll go with the Lakers because I do think they're the healthier team in this game. I like how played. They did me a solid against Orlando last game. That was mainly just me not trusting Orlando at all and me thinking that Orlando was a team that just couldn't find an answer for Mitchell. And once again, he killed them. I'll go Lakers, but I don't feel great about it. We'll wait and see how they look without Mobley again. But defensively, it is a very big deal. And I do question, with him not being on the court, what lineups are you going to be running? Because Hunter's been banged up too. What exactly are you supposed to do? Because the Cavs, we know, bench-wise, we have not been fans of. Now, Hunter's supposed to return, so they're kind of doing a bit of a swap there. But defensively, Mobley does a lot to cover up some of the holes this team has. And with LeBron, with Luka, with the scoring options the Lakers have, I'm skeptical of how the Cavs are going to look defensively. So I'll go with the Lakers. I think they win this outright.
I just don't think the Lakers have enough. Like, everybody else has to just consistently show up for me to feel good enough. But it just feels like I'm just betting on Luka. Like, it feels like this game I'm betting on Luka versus Donovan Mitchell. Like, that's how I'm betting this game. And with that, I should just take the Donovan Mitchell side. I mean, the Luka side. When you make it sound like that, it is basically Luka versus Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, you know what? I changed my mind. All right, I'll go Lakers with you.
Well, it's not really Luka versus Mitchell. It's Luka and LeBron versus Mitchell and no Garland and no Mobley. I just don't know if I trust the other options. Tyson could have a great game. As Free Sauce was mentioning, we have seen Tyson have solid games in step-up spots. But the Lakers do have their 2 best players who are currently healthy, and the Cavs are missing their 2nd and their 3rd best player on the roster. We've roasted this bench for a while this season, especially after they moved on from Jerome and picked up Lonzo, who's been abysmal from the floor this season. What are the scoring options for this Cavs team? They don't have much. I think the Lakers just have more firepower. That's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah. I think, yeah. All right. I'll go with Luka. 235.5. Yeah. This is going up. I mean, both of these 2 teams, I don't know. I guess if this was like them maybe a few weeks ago, I would be like over, but I actually think the Cavs actually been playing a little bit better defense. I really, really don't trust a bunch of the other options. Like I said, I think this is Luka versus Donovan Mitchell. And so that's not going to be a lot of scoring by anybody else. So I'll go under.
I think I'm going to agree with you. mainly just based on the Cavaliers, who I think are going to struggle to actually score. I know the Lakers' defense is not very good, but I think in this case they can do enough to send this game under. If Cleveland, for example, scores like 110, which is fine, it's like a fine output. The Lakers still need to score 125. Like, that's a lot of points. I'll go with the under. I think it'll land somewhere in the high 220s.
This just went to 3.5, by the way. Just letting you know.
Okay.
All right. Chicago on the road, going to play the Indiana Pacers, excuse me, in Indianapolis. Let's see. Yeah, Bulls laying 2.5, 237.5 is the total. Injury report. And we have here, I have a out for Trey Jones. Let's see. Yeah, neither one of y'all matter. Okay, and then a questionable tag on Jarris Walker.
I feel like every Pacers game we talk about is the same. This team stinks, but occasionally they step up.
Yep.
And we saw the Bulls lose to the Lakers. They gave it a bit of a run there in the third quarter, and then things kind of fell apart late. We're kind of stuck with the Bulls, though.
You know what happened?
No, I know, but now they're exactly 500. So
yeah, they won that game, got above 500, had to knock themselves back down.
That's the problem.
What was that, like 4 in a row? Did they win like 4 or 5 in a row to get to that point?
They're at 500, so they can't tie. So they got to either win or lose, and then the next game's the easy one. This game's difficult, though, because they can go either way. So do you like Indiana at home, or do you like Chicago in the recent form?
Well, let's see here. I think the issue here, one, I'm really glad that, Giddey, Kobe White back for this Indiana team. Is this the Lakers? Yeah, this is the Indiana game. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm back, Giddey and Kobe White. I think that this is probably still the uptick of this Bulls team. Yeah, they lose a game to the Lakers, but I think defensively, Indiana still has a problem. They're giving up about 120 points per game. And you know what happens when you allow this Bulls team to start pushing pace. They really do want to play a lot faster than they end up playing at times. They're the number one offensive rated team over the past 5 games as well. And so I think that if you're just telling this Bulls team, hey, we're going to play fast and we're going to go up and down the court, they're going to be like, all right, fine, we'll do that with you. We could play that game with you, and we could probably play it a little bit better. So that's my concern for Indiana in this one. Now, if Indiana is able to hit shots, keep up with them, cool, but Indiana's not as efficient as they've been, without Tyrese Halliburton, and as this injured roster has been working their way back and all of that. So I'm going to go with the Bulls. I think the Bulls will be able to play that pace and be able to hit more shots. I trust Giddey and Kobe White playing in the same game. And I'll say that they'll go out there and be able to get a win and put up a high points total. I like Bulls team total over. But the inefficiencies for Indiana and just offensively, and some nights is like only Pascal Siakam that wants to show up and go to work, or like Nembhard to do his best to kind of get guys going, but people aren't just hitting shots. So I don't trust the Indiana offense to consistently take them. I will take the Bulls in this spot.
Yeah, so we agree on the last part, which is the offense. So I like the under in the game. I think the number's too high. I want to point out, though, Indiana is actually 2-0 against Chicago this season outright, so I don't feel great about Chicago going into this game from a matchup perspective. Now, when they faced off, I know Chicago was in a downswing, and they faced off 2 times in the span of a week. So it could have just been Indiana caught them at the right time while Chicago was in free fall for about, a month, or it felt that way. I might just take Indiana under the belief I'll pick you to beat them when you actually beat them, because so far this season they have not done so. So I might go with Indiana here, but I recognize this game could go either way. I do think this number feels a bit high, though. The 2 meetings this season, first meeting landed at 204, which was the only game in Indiana. Second game in Chicago landed 225. So I get that Chicago wants to play fast. I know Indiana doesn't really guard anybody, which should result in a high-scoring game. But I do think, based on what we've seen so far in the head-to-head, this number does feel pretty high from what I've seen from these two teams when they've gotten together. I'll go with the under, which might seem a bit contrarian, but I do think the number feels a bit high. Give me the under and give me Indiana.
I'm not mad at you taking an under. I will take Bulls team total over. I the number one offense against a pretty bad defense. I'm interested in that, but I am concerned about the Indiana Pacers output in this game as well. So,
All
right, let's see here. Before we get to the next game on the slate, I talk to you about Avo. Really, really good sports betting tool that is Avo. Make sure you check them out. They can help you lock in a profit every time you decide to place bets. They do this by spotting arbitrage and plus EV opportunities faster than any of the competitors, and it's so clean. They have a nice dashboard. Everything is organized in one place, super easy to understand. Go lock in, tap in with Avo, and let them teach you how to bet and guarantee a profit. If you're unsure, go check out their free Discord, AVO official, and get started at avo.bet. Right now, use promo code SGPN for $18 off. That's avo.bet, promo code SGPN for $18 off. We're also brought to you by Kalshi. Legal in all 50 states. You can trade NFL, college football, college basketball, NHL, NBA, entertainment, weather, politics, all of that and more over there at Kalshi. Make sure you check it out. We have an offer for new Kalshi customers. Get $20 when you use that promo code SGPN. It is Kalshi, Kalshi. Some place that you can go, head over there, trade, get down on a bunch of the action. And again, legal in all 50 states. Promo code SGPN, Kalshi. Caution. All right. Next game up. 7:30 window. Orlando on the road. Going to play the Miami Heat. Heat laying 2.5. 229.5 is total. Let's see here. Injury report, and we have for the Orlando Magic, looks like Franz Wagner out, that ankle injury. You got Ware, questionable. Davion Mitchell, questionable. Norman Powell, questionable. Tyler Hero out.
I mean, part of it comes down to Orlando. Do you even want to bother? Because Miami's favored. You know we hate Miami as a favorite. I mean, Orlando, it's been rough for Orlando. And I went into it in greater depth when I took the Cavs against them a couple days ago. I did a full thing about Paolo, and I did a whole thing about Mosley and how Franz is hurt again, and Suggs has been injured too, who was horrible, by the way, against the Cavs last game. I'll let you talk about it because I already did. Do you want to even bother trying to jump in with Orlando until Franz comes back, or are they just a complete no backing team at this point? Because I don't really know what this team is, and maybe Mosley's just the wrong guy who just can't maximize the talent on this roster. But they traded a bunch of picks for Bane. They're around 500, and Franz is still injured. So I know you've been, I'd say, a bit more of a Paolo defender than I've been. And I know Paolo had 37 last game, and they still failed to score 100 points. So that's more of a supporting cast type of thing. What are your thoughts on Orlando? Because I'm kind of just good until Franz comes back, but do you want to talk me back onto them, or are you just agreeing? Because it's not pretty for whatever reason you want to use. It has not been a very fun season for Orlando fans. In fact, it's been pretty ugly.
I will say the Magic have won all 3 meetings this season.
Yes, that is true. Franz is not playing, by the way. It has been confirmed. He's going to miss this game.
Especially with how, what was it, Orlando was horrible to start the season, right?
The defense was really bad early.
They couldn't play any type of defense, and they still lost that game. So I'm fine. I've seen Orlando the last 4 games. They looked horrible. I get it. I'm fine going Miami here as a favorite and just completely bucking, the age-long trend that we have. But I'm telling you, we see it here that the Heat can't beat this team right now.
I am going to push back a little bit because they are currently 3-0 against Miami. I will point out that all 3 games were in Orlando. They have not played a single game at home against this team, so I do want to mention that.
Okay.
The games were also close. All 3 games were decided by less than 10 points. 2 of the 3 were decided by less than 5 points.
Which makes laying 2.5 with the Heat sound like a horrible idea. Like, it screams that this is a Heat by 1.
It might be, but all I'm saying is you might be right. There might just be a matchup issue. But I will point out all 3 games were in Orlando, and Orlando has been better at home than on the road. That's my counterpoint to the head-to-head so far.
Miami has won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Their last 10 straight games at home against the Orlando Magic.
Also, this season they're 15-7 at home. So
now that dated all the way back to 2020.
Yep.
Yeah, that dated all the way back to 2020. So some pretty bad Magic teams in there, but all right. I mean, hey, I'm gonna just take the 1-10 with Miami and just save my butt, in case that laying my 1.5 or laying 2.5 with Miami is a bad idea. But yeah, let's go with Miami. Sure. Orlando does look like crap. Like, I wasn't trying to talk us into Miami at all. I was just saying that, like, we haven't seen them beat them this season. So if there was an argument against it, that's probably where it's going to start.
No, I get it. I just wanted to point out that all 3 of those games were in Orlando. The issue with Miami, though, is injury related as well. I mean, Khalil Ware's been banged up when Spell actually plays the guy. Davion Mitchell's been banged up. I know Norman Powell's questionable, as he has a back issue. Hero's out. Like, they do have a bunch of injuries to key personnel. So you could argue maybe an under's worth a look, even though we know Miami defensively can be a problem. I don't mind the under in this game. The last 2 meetings, I said before, did not even get to 226. I read off a bunch of injuries for Miami. Orlando scored less than 100 points last game, even though Paolo had 37. I mean, reading off the Orlando offense over the last couple of games, 98, 105, 97, 109. Like, these games are just very low scoring in general because they can't really score. I like the under in the game. I see a couple ways to get there. I know it's not fun with Miami being involved, but I don't want the over in this game.
I'm not really married one way or another. I wouldn't be surprised if this is an under game. It's like one of those 103, 102 type finals. Sure, but not the best feel in this one because I'm not even 100% committed to the Miami side of the ball. Like, the injuries are also a really big deal. I understand Orlando's bad, but at some point Orlando's got to look good in a game. Like, they're not going to look bad in the game for every game for the rest of the season. At some point they got to look good. And, like, why not against this Miami team? Is this their first game back at home?
Yes. They had a long road trip.
All right, I lied. Give me Orlando plus points.
All right, there you go. I'll go for Miami, but I prefer the under.
I'm sorry. Everything in my gut was telling me not to take Miami. And, yeah, first game back home after a West Coast trip, which they played well, and Miami's laying 2.5, and Orlando has looked horrible for the past 4 games. This is a clear-cut Miami underperforms at home as a favorite spot. I'll take Orlando.
Cool.
All right. Knicks on the road. Going to play Toronto Raptors. Knicks catching 1.5. 224.5 is the total. Knicks play tonight, second leg of a back-to-back.
Game was close for 3 quarters.
Knicks are also exploring pathways to acquire Drew Holiday.
Okay. It's a big contract. I hope Portland eats most of that contract.
I feel like that's the only way you could agree. Like, I think that's the only way.
Well, there's no way the Knicks could afford it unless somebody was absorbing the contract. But we'll see how that works out. It wouldn't be a bad addition for the Knicks, but assuming once again the salaries work itself out.
I saw something about Colin Murray Boyles pop across. Yes, questionable. Colin Murray Boyles questionable for the game. No, Jakob Poeltl.
That would have to be a 3-team deal, right?
I would think so.
I have to imagine that's a 3-team deal because I don't know how the Knicks would acquire Drew Holiday's contract with their current roster. There would have to be a third team involved, and the Knicks might be attaching a pick or something. Like, who knows? But it's an interesting idea. We'll see how it works out. But there would have to be a third team.
Don't the Knicks fans aren't even thinking about that trade. They're thinking about how the Bucks have realized that it may be a good idea for them to part ways with Giannis for both parties.
Well, I brought this up actually last episode. Do you think Giannis is actually injured, or do you think they basically sent him on vacation?
No, I think he's injured.
Okay.
Dog, Giannis plays hard in the All-Star game. Giannis is not just willingly not playing basketball.
I think it's a mix of both.
He's 100% injured, and I think that's also a part of the reason that the Bucks are also fed up with this, because it's like, bro, you always do this too. It's just that when Giannis comes back, like, he looks like Giannis, and it's not like Giannis is missing, but like, no, I think he's 100% injured. Giannis is not just Giannis. That personality and that ego is not just not playing basketball.
It's more about the timing, because he was calling out his teammates, he was calling out the effort and all that stuff, and then what do you know, he's out for about 2 months.
No, but he actually looked like, watching the game, he actually looked like something was wrong. So
yeah, it's possible it was just a coincidence. I was just throwing it out there. But
yeah, no,
that might prevent a team or two from trading for him, knowing that if we get him in the middle of the season, he might not be fully healthy. So that might be an off-season move for Milwaukee. We'll see. But they have to trade him. Like, this has to happen. Like, the marriage is over. We agree on that. I don't know if the Knicks have enough resources to get him. I doubt it. But that's a separate story.
I just don't. I mean, I just keep constantly going back to the tweet of Sam Presti's finger is just hovering over the button. It's just hovering over. At any point, Sam Presti can acquire Giannis. At any point he wants. And I think that's the craziness of the power that Sam Presti has. And we've been just kind of waiting for all this time of like what he was going to do with these picks. And then he won a championship. And now we're like, he's still got the picks. Like at any point, Sam Presti can blow this all up and say, let's get Giannis and let's go compete again. Even though we're still competing. Like, I think that I just ultimately it's, does Sam Presti want Giannis? And then is where else does Giannis go? But the first question is, does Sam Presti want Giannis?
Well, I'm going to ask. I don't want to have a full Giannis conversation now because he's injured. But how many realistic trade destinations do you think there are?
OKC.
Is that the only one?
I don't know what the Warriors situation is. So
I do not have them listed for me. I don't think they can afford them.
Yeah, who else?
And I don't want to hear these BS arguments
Toronto,
about Kuminga.
Toronto would make a move. I think Toronto would blow it up for Giannis if it made sense.
They have a lot of big salaries too.
And they've done something like that for I'm trying to think of in the mind of the GM and not really like just what the team looks like what GM would take that stab to say I'm gonna go do it. I think Toronto would take a stab at it. I
have a couple more, but
I would be interested to see. What else do you like?
Well, AO dropped by. I have Detroit in there.
I don't think Detroit would.
Not mid-season. This would have to be off-season. But if the Pistons, hypothetically speaking, got the 1 seed, let's say that things worked out in the regular season, the rest of the Eastern Conference isn't very good, Detroit gets the 1. Let's say they pull a full Cavaliers. They just completely no-show a playoff series. Duren gets played off the floor. It's just not working out. Can I see a world where they end up trading Duren and maybe some picks for Giannis in the offseason? I can see that. The problem is they're in the same division, so that might potentially prevent Detroit from or prevent Milwaukee from doing it. I think the Pistons make sense if they perform horrifically in the postseason. If it goes badly in playoff basketball, I think there's an option for that. So I'll throw Detroit in there, but there are some circumstances. And I actually have my Nets in there.
San Antonio. What if
I have
San
my Nets in
Antonio?
there, which I don't think would make much sense from a rebuild perspective. But if you want to trade away Claxton, you want to get rid of Porter Jr., and you want to attach some picks to it, the Nets make sense too if they want to go for a star. But I don't know why Giannis would want to go there. But that's a team that I think makes sense.
I think everything outside of OKC is speculation. It's literally Sam Presti. Do you want Giannis? Do you feel like Giannis will help you win?
Yeah, I tweeted about that months ago. And we know Holmgren has a player option, or he has a restricted free agency. So he's about to get paid a bunch of money. So if you'd rather pay a bunch of money to Giannis instead of Chet Holmgren, that makes sense too. I think OKC is clearly the number one spot from a power ranking perspective based on assets, etc. But mentioning other potential options, I think Detroit makes sense if they fall apart in the playoffs. I think it makes sense. So that's kind of what I wanted to throw in there. You mentioned Toronto. So
I don't think I don't think Duren is tradable, but
why not?
I think they're committed. I think they're committed to their young group, and they're committed to making that group. And if they could add Giannis to that, and they could play Duren alongside Giannis, that would be an option. I don't think that they're just saying we're going to punt on Duren and go out here and try to get Giannis. Like Duren literally could be a defensive player of the year in the next year or two. Like I don't believe I wouldn't. So if you were to sell me on the Pistons, it would not be selling me by saying that they just drop what they have in Jalen Duren. Like I don't.
Well, part of the Duren appeal right now is that his rookie deal has him making about $6 million. However, he's in the final year of that. So once he tests the market as a restricted, he's probably making $30+ million next season onward, and that's why it would be interesting. Because maybe you like Duren at the current price point, but you don't like him at $35 million, and you decide I'd rather have Giannis. So that's more of an off-season thing once again. But there are a couple of young players who Milwaukee could get back for a restricted free agency contract, where those guys like Chet and Duren suddenly aren't as, you could argue, valuable once their next contract kicks in. That's the point I'm trying to make.
No,
I love Duren at $6 million. I don't know if I love him at $35 million. That's kind of the counterpoint.
I don't know.
I like Duren as a player though, but 35.
I would understand that if he was doing what he was doing last season, but he's been killing this season. So I say pay that man his money. And if you were to want somebody like Giannis, you probably want Giannis and still a big that can protect the painted area. Maybe not the spacing. You don't feel great about that, but like Duren's too good of a player that I don't know.
By the way, I see Free mentioning Turner. Turner's making 27, so Duren might make 40. I'm just saying, it's a lot of money when you could potentially trade him for Giannis. Going back to this game, though, for the Knicks and Raptors, I'll go Toronto in this game. Knicks traveling to Canada. They're on a back-to-back. Toronto had a day off today. Good enough for me. I'll go Raptors and under.
Raptors have been really good. Covered in seven of their last 10 games. Won 6 of them. They've definitely peaked and got themselves out of whatever ugly kind of basketball form they were playing in. They've been playing defense and look a lot better on the defensive side of basketball as well. I'm and they took that Lakers loss very personally and, ran the gauntlet on the West Coast. Slightly concerned. West team going out west, playing all the West Coast teams, just now getting back home all the way in Canada. Could be, a sleepier spot for this Toronto Raptors team. The New York Knicks are 3-4 straight up and ATS on the second leg of a back-to-back. Not very good there. As a road dog, the Knicks are 0-5 this season. Have not won a game on the road as a dog. So, yeah, I'm with you. Give me Toronto. Laying 1.5. This goes how every Toronto game goes. Knicks probably do have an early lead. Wouldn't be surprised. But Toronto battle back, and they win a close game at home, which I've seen them do a number of times this season. So, yeah, give me Toronto in another close game at home.
Yeah, I see Free mentioning he's still not impressed by the Knicks. Yeah, neither are we. They killed the Nets, and I think we'd acknowledge. I know you keep bringing it up every episode. Cat looks horrible out there,
5 fits
and
in.
I'll point out the plus minus today. I know plus minus is kind of I'd say an inconsistent stat where it kind of supports
Did you
narratives,
see
but
DeAndre Ayton's the other day?
I'll let you mention it, but I was going to mention the Towns one first. So the Knicks once again won by 16 today. They were tied actually after 3 quarters against Sacramento, who is now 3-20 on the road, by the way. Towns in a 16-point win was a -3 in plus minus, dead last on the team. Mitchell Robinson, team high plus 25.
Yeah.
So once again, I know that it's a potentially biased stat to use, but -3 compared to plus 25. Yeah, let's say Cat's not having a great week.
Wait, they're interviewing Paul George because he made 9 threes tonight. Franchise record, tied franchise record.
I had Philly first half as my lock, so I appreciate those threes.
Yeah, man. Whatever. I don't want to.
We mentioned Cat before. Just throwing it out there. The plus minus speaks for itself. Mitchell Robinson, very, very good tonight.
Yeah, Cat sucks. We noticed. 224.5.
I'll go under on a back-to-back for the Knicks.
Knicks on the second leg going back-to-back are 4-3 to the total. 2-5 in the first half. If you want to bet a first half under anybody. Yeah, I trust Toronto's defense at least recently, and I agree. Knicks are not in good form under. Not the best play. I prefer Toronto laying 2.5. I mean laying 1.5. All right. Before we get to the next game on the slate, gotta talk to you about Underdog, where you can win up to 5,000 times your entry. All you got to do is pick higher or lower your favorite player's fantasy stats except Cat, and you can go out there and get paid. All you keep doing is add more players until you get to that 5,000x. Head over there. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5. Get $75 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code NBA SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Great in the NFL playoffs, NBA, college basketball, rolling along. The power of data has been really, really good. So you should very much go over there, use their models, check the models, or have your own models. And that way you can decide, hey, do you want to move the sliders up for offense, down for defense, fouls, tempo, all of that. Make sure you check it out over there on Rhythm. Go premium. Use that promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. That's download Rhythm and use promo code SGPN25. All right. Atlanta on the road. Going to play the Boston Celtics. Celtics laying 6.5 to 31.5 is the total. Injury report. There we go. And we have for the Atlanta Hawks, Ricochet out, Porzingis out. You got Kata's game time decision, Garza game time decision. All right, we've seen this line already starting to creep a little bit closer to Atlanta here. Boston has won 6 of their last 10. Haven't covered as much. And Atlanta's been on a little bit of a cover streak. Covered 6 of their last 10, won 6 of their last 10. Looking in pretty solid form. They've won 3 straight.
Do you want to lay this with Boston? Because Atlanta's been playing better lately. I faded Boston the last game. Obviously didn't even end up playing. The line closed at 10.5, so I actually got a horrible number. And Portland still covered. Boston hasn't really been blowing teams out. They got really lucky against the Nets. They had a pretty...
Lost to the Bulls.
Lost to the Bulls, had a war against Portland. Like, I'm not a fan of how they played lately.
I would have loved it more if Porzingis was playing.
Yeah, me too.
But I think Jalen Johnson can still have a pretty solid game in this one. Okongwu can be able. Oh, Okongwu rebounds actually sounds. I wonder what's Okongwu's rebounds been looking like recently. That sounds like that could be really interesting. Whatever line that's at. Yeah. I don't think anything says Boston's just gonna go out here and completely run away with this one. I just don't want to get the letdown spot with Atlanta coming off 3 straight games, but like they're battling trying to get themselves back above 500. Like as much as we talk about the Bulls, the Atlanta Hawks are a 500 basketball team as well. Let me see here. Last 5 games for the Atlanta Hawks. Pace has been up.
Well, it should be with the way this team wants to play.
Oh,
I don't know if I have much of a thought for the total in this one. I just like Atlanta. Boston's been winning, not covering, so that's good enough for me. I think I'm just good with going Atlanta and calling it a day.
I think I'll go under. Because if I go Boston, then if I go Atlanta, then I'm just kind of hoping Boston's just not like crazy unconscious. Yeah, crazy unconscious on the offensive end. Boston's always going to play some solid level of defense at this point. Yeah. All right, Atlanta and under.
Yeah, I think I'll agree with you on that.
Because like, who are they going to start? Who's going to be the big? First of all, what's this? Let me get an update status on, because Garza and Keita are both sick. Like, is it Amari?
What was it, Williams more?
Yeah, so Amari Williams.
Yeah, he like barely plays. More.
Yeah, give me the Hawks.
All right.
Okongwu, start your centers against Celtics. Okongwu has a good day. All right.
We'll mention him again for Underdog.
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
Yeah.
Charlotte on the road. Going to play the Memphis Grizzlies. Man, LaMelo can't even just hang out with his boy on the court without all the think pieces coming out. Easy, breezy, beautiful.
Oh, good man. Though. Props to Charlotte. They look good.
Yeah, Charlotte has been on an upswing. We have a questionable tag on KJ Simpson. Plumlee's out. Yeah, still no Ty Jerome. Jaw is out. Still no Edie. Sky Pippen Jr., Brandon Clark, like all of them still out, as we already know for this Memphis group. Yeah, what goes up must come down. That's really my concern here.
Memphis, we know at home, can be a bit dangerous at times. Jaw's still out. They're still missing half the team anyway. Shocker, Ty Jerome's still not back yet. I get it might be a bit trappy, but I'll just take Charlotte. I just like how they've played. I've been low on this team because I don't trust how serious they are, but you know what? They've won 3 in a row. Killed Orlando in their last road game. Reading off the last couple of road games, they've been pretty good. Beat Orlando by 27. Beat the Nuggets by 23. They lost to the Warriors. They killed the Lakers by 18. Like they've been winning by margin on the road.
15-10 ATS on the road this season.
Yeah, like they have not been great straight up, but on ATS they've been solid. Memphis, look, at the end of the day, I think Spencer's done a good job as the de facto point guard for this team because John never plays. Jaren Jackson Jr. has been, I'd say, better lately, but I still hate him because he can't rebound, which is well documented at this point. But Memphis, they've lost 3 in a row. They've given up at least 124 points in 2 of the last 3. I just don't know if I trust this team on both sides of the ball enough. It does feel like Charlotte is kind of gelling at the right time. And to mention the Grizzlies recently, let me just see this: 2-7, 3-7. They're 3-10 in their last 13. That's straight up. I think I'll just take Charlotte. They're showing me something. Team's healthy. They're fun to watch. I actually don't mind the offensive depth on this team. I'll take the Hornets.
Yeah, I don't think Memphis can guard them enough. I think listen to Charlotte's points total given up in the past 5 games: 93, 115, 97, 94 in a loss. That 94 was in a loss. 87. So Charlotte defensively has just been able to play really well, especially with now Memphis down Ja Morant, trying to figure out where the offense is going to come from each given night in, night out. This seems like a perfect team like Charlotte to play and be able to flex on them with the defense, whether they're, pump thinking this is just a spurt of good defense and this is not who they really are or not. It just seems like right time, right place for the Charlotte Hornets. So, yeah, I'll go with you, Charlotte, playing 1.5 here.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm on the under 230.5 with how good Charlotte's playing defensively. I'm sorry.
I think I agree, but I'll go Hornets team total over.
All right. Minnesota. Laying 7.5 on the road against the Dallas Mavericks. Mavericks 232.5 is the total. I mean, we talked about it. Well, let's get to the injury report first. Injury report for these two teams, and it looks like for the Minnesota Timberwolves, they have click. There we go. Anthony Edwards on the injury report, questionables. We've got Cooper Flag for the Dallas Mavericks. I saw that pop up across my screen earlier today as well. What was the official diagnosis on Flag? Questionable injury management. Looks like he should be able to go.
I know we both don't like the Timberwolves. They split their games against the Warriors. Then again, I did that game overnight. I was wrong because I thought Steph would end up playing because they blew the Timberwolves out the day prior. So I figured they would end up just using Curry. It would work itself out. They did not, and Minnesota killed them. But that win means nothing to me because, once again, the Warriors benched their entire team. So they had lost a couple in a row. They had lost 5 in a row. Then they ended up beating Golden State in the game that they basically punted. So I still don't trust this team at all. If you want to wait to find out if Flag's playing, I understand it, because Flag is a very meaningful piece to this team. But based on current form, with the Timberwolves being 1-5 in their last 6, and the one win was a freebie, I'm good. Give me Dallas plus 7.5.
Yeah, Dallas last 5 games, pretty good by all standards. You go and you handle business as you're supposed to against the Utah Jazz. One against the Knicks, one against the Warriors, and you were up. And by all indications, probably should have won that game against the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are horrible, and they're 15-22 as a favorite this season when they're expected to win. When they're expected to win and cover the game, 15-22, 10-13 on the road. Yeah, I want nothing to do with that. I'm sorry. It was already sealed for me with them laying any type of points. It's injury management as the tag for Flag, so it sounds like he's gonna go. Give me Dallas plus the points.
Yep, I agree. As for the total, I have no idea. I guess I'll go over because I don't trust Dallas to guard anybody. So maybe I'll just pick him to have a good offensive game. But I have no real thoughts on the total. Do you?
Yeah, Timberwolves look horrible in a game, and it goes under, and they just underperform on the road again. That's what I would, if I had to pick a route, I would probably just put it on the Timberwolves underperforming on the road again.
Okay. Fair enough.
Really bad squad. I might be interested in a Dallas team total over.
Okay.
Utah.
I'll personally wait for flag before I take a team total over. But shout out
Utah's
to
gonna
Najee Marshall, who's been very good for the last couple weeks.
be yes. Utah's on the road. I mean, no, Utah's at home. Welcome in the Golden State Warriors. They are on a second leg of a back-to-back. That's what I was trying to say. Utah's on the second leg of a back-to-back. They just started their game against Clippers.
Yep. I do want to point out, by the way, for that game, Laurie is playing.
Mm-hmm.
So
good chance he's not playing.
So right now, Laurie is playing and Keontae is not playing. So I'm assuming they're just going to flip him tomorrow and call it a day?
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that's all they really need. I mean, of course, I would feel a lot better going up. Well, let me finish. The Jazz catching 8.5 at home against the Golden State Warriors. 240.5 is total. You helped me with the injury report there. For the Golden State Warriors, it looks like, well, Jimmy Butler's done for the year.
Mm-hmm.
We don't talk about enough of how that happened, like against the Miami Heat.
I did not think he was going to play against the Heat. And then he got injured.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, questionable tags on Steph and Draymond and Gary Payton and No Kuminga. Nurk is out.
That's a big deal, though. He had 3 straight triple doubles.
Nurk is out tonight, right? So
there was a chance that he ends up playing as well tomorrow. But
yeah.
Yes, he's not playing tonight.
Okay.
So there's a chance they're swapping out Laurie for Keontae and Nurkic.
Nurk plays in this game. That's pretty big.
Well, because Golden State doesn't have much size. Then again, Nurk, even with the triple doubles, is still putting up horrendous plus-minus numbers because he can't guard anybody. So if you just keep running around guys on the perimeter that Golden State, likes to do, then Nurkic is useless trying to guard any 3-pointers. So I think Golden State puts up a ton of points. I don't really know how you're supposed to guard Steph if your center is by default playing drop coverage in every single scenario. So I think Curry's got a shot at 40 in this game. I'll go with the Warriors, but I don't mind the over.
No way you just took the Warriors in Utah.
I actually think it's a decent spot for Golden State, but I'll go with the over. Instead of taking the Warriors, give them the team total over, because that way they can lose the game like 135 to 130, and I'll still get my team total. So give me Golden State team total over. I'll go for Curry props, though. With a Nurkic playing drop coverage, have fun and pick and roll, trying to guard Steph. That's going to be a miserable matchup there for Nurkic. I'll go for a bunch of points in this game. Over.
Yeah, no. They have underperformed at home 2 games in a row. Not getting a third game. All over the Utah Jazz here. Perfect spot. Keontae has a game. Whoever is playing down on the inside has a game. They go out there, handle business against this Golden State Warriors team. Let's pull up Utah on the second leg of a back-to-back. This season, they are 7-4 straight up, 7-4 against the spread. All over the Utah Jazz here.
All right.
Plus 8.5, sprinkle on the money line. They'll get it done against the Golden State Warriors. I still don't trust Steve Kerr right now.
I never trust Steve Kerr.
240.5 is total over.
Yeah. There you go.
Didn't take no time with that. That was easy. San Antonio on the road. Going to play the Houston Rockets. Rockets laying 2.5. 219.5 is total. So 221.5 out there. Random 221.5 out there. That's like really low against the market. If you want to get down on that. So, just saw this game about a week ago. Let me tweaking. All right. Let's see.
Spurs completely choked away that game in the fourth quarter, by the way.
Yeah, that was the game that I had them as my dog. Plus 4.5, and they were up. It felt really good. And then as we were recording, it just went downhill, down. And they didn't even get the cover.
No, they got killed in the fourth quarter. I know Wemby was terrible that entire second half.
So that's a split, 1-1 on for these two. The home team has won both games.
Yep. Well, Houston's playing better lately, 16-3 at home.
Yeah, but I still don't believe it.
Oh, I don't either. I'm just pointing out they have been winning some games here.
They're 3-7 in their last 10 games against the spread, even though like they win these games, but they're 8-11. 16-3 straight up. I mean, yes, 16-3 straight up at home, 8-11 against the spread.
Yeah,
When
my
not
point
covered.
my point with Houston was actually going to be that I've noticed from them, they've actually been a lot better in the fourth quarter lately. They haven't improved in that area, except they're no showing the first half of these games. They went from like being a decent starting team and a bad finishing team to being a bad starting team and a good finishing team, which is kind of a weird pivot mid-season. But Houston fourth quarter wise has actually been pretty good recently. The problem is it feels like they're always down entering the fourth quarter. And we saw that against Memphis last game.
Saw it against San Antonio when I should have bet them in the first half.
Yeah, but last game, for example, Memphis, I picked Memphis plus the points, and the Grizzlies are ahead through three quarters. And then they ended up getting killed in the fourth quarter and they lost the game. They still covered. But Houston has been kind of letting teams hang around. I actually like Spurs first half in this game, to segue into my play. They came out early last time. They were up by a bunch. They no-showed the fourth quarter. I see a pretty good effort from San Antonio early. Maybe they're pissed off after choking that game away last time around. I think they jump Houston early. Give me San Antonio first half.
So, to Scott's point, the Rockets in the last 10 games are 2-8 against the spread in the first half. The San Antonio Spurs are 7-3 against the spread in the first half.
I didn't even know the numbers. Just looking at the eye test, Houston's constantly underachieving early in games. Now, look, if you come back and win in the fourth quarter, that's better than nothing. But you've still been basically just on autopilot for the first 36 minutes of these games. And that's not good enough against a good team like San Antonio. So that's where I'm at. Yeah. Sounds like we agree.
Yeah. So I don't consistently trust the Rockets in these close games yet. They've been playing better. They've been getting wins and been able to outlast, but something just doesn't feel right about this Rockets team. And I still feel very confident in where I have the San Antonio Spurs pegged in the Western Conference.
I'm assuming when healthy, you have them third behind OKC and behind Denver?
Yep.
Okay. And where do you have Houston, by the way? You have Houston at 4?
Yep.
Okay.
But it's a pretty
yeah. I'm just asking.
But yeah, no, Houston's still 4 for me. I think they're good, just good to a point.
Yeah.
And they have their faults. And I feel like every time I watch Houston basketball, I'm like, yeah, that's it right there. Like, oh yeah, you can definitely struggle from shooting from the outside certain games. And then you have, guys like Champagny that'll be randomly hot for 5 for 7 or something like that. And it's like, it's a lot.
And the Rockets don't have that. They have the occasional Reed Shepherd game off the bench. And maybe
Jabari Smith.
That's who I was going to say. Every now and then Jabari will give you like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But they don't have that random flamethrower that they need.
Yeah. All right. Let's try this again. San Antonio plus 2.5. First half play is much better play, though.
Yep.
And plus, the Rockets won and covered that game. And this is the same scenario a week later. And we're now 2.5. They're telling you San Antonio. Lock, dog, underdog.
You're going first.
Lock.
I'm preparing mine while you do yours, so you can just take as long as you want.
I don't think I'm a believer in the New York Knicks. Give me Toronto laying 1.5. Toronto has been in really, really good form, and the Knicks do suck right now, especially what Cat just did on the second leg of a back-to-back as well. However, the Knicks have been extremely dominant. Like, this is the perfect situation for Toronto. Just go ahead and snap that streak, because the Knicks have been have kicked Toronto's butt recently. Dog. I mean, was it any doubt?
I know you're going Utah.
Utah plus 310. They just needed me to come back on the show and bet them again. The last time I bet them was against Minnesota. They just needed me to bet them again. Utah plus 310.
All right. For my lock on the show, I'm going to go to a first half play again. Why not? I swept my first half plays on Tuesday. I'll go for the Spurs first half plus 1.5. Said before that I noticed Houston was struggling early in games, and then you confirm what I said, which was them being 2-8 ATS in the last 10. San Antonio has been good early in games. We saw them no-show the fourth quarter against Houston about a week ago. The point is they still jumped this team, and San Antonio should be pissed off that they let that game slip away. I think they jump Houston. I think Houston, once again, is slow to get out of the gates, and I do think that San Antonio has a lead at halftime. Give me the Spurs plus 1.5 in the first half as my lock at minus 120. For my dog, I'm going to go alt spread. I'm going to go Charlotte. Now, give me Charlotte minus 5.5 at plus 140. They've been playing great ball. I read off their road numbers before. They're not just winning road games. They are killing teams on the road. And Memphis is still missing half their team. Yes, I know at home they can be a bit more competitive, but Charlotte's been good lately. And I'll give credit where it's due. Give me Charlotte, alt spread, minus 5.5, plus 140 as my dog for the show.
All right. Luis says he's going to play the Jazz because of me. Yeah, I can make the Jazz sound very tempting any given night. It's probably
he's rooting for the Jazz anyway because he has the Suns to win the division and he needs Golden State to lose some games. So he's already invested.
Oh wow, yeah, he does have a son to win the division belt. Very good, Luis.
He has a couple of them.
I think he's got a Suns championship ticket in his pocket somewhere.
I've seen the pictures. He has them.
All right, Underdog. Let's see here.
I forgot who we were talking about before, but there was somebody that we were interested in. Who do you say?
A Congo against the Celtics.
Yeah, that was one person that we mentioned before. I don't know if he's listed.
Yeah, I don't know if he's listed either. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. We can do 15.5 points. We can do points and rebounds.
Let's do points and rebounds.
Points and rebounds are at 23.5 for Okongwu.
Cool. We'll go higher on that.
Let's see. I do like Utah, but I do agree Steph should go off.
So you want Steph?
No, there is no Steph.
Okay. It's because he's questionable.
And because Utah's playing right now.
By the way, shout out to Harrison Barnes. The higher-lower rebounds is at 1.5. And he's gone to lower in 8 of the last 10. So shout out to Harrison Barnes for not rebounding. Sorry, just looking at some other options here.
Luka 33.5?
Sure. Yeah, why not? I mean, we know Cleveland defensively is not very good.
I mean, who's going to guard him?
No, nobody can. On that team? Nobody.
And even if there was somebody that could guard him, switch.
Yeah. Jared Allen's gonna have to guard him now. That's
like what? Switch.
They might just pick on DeAndre Hunter, who's returning. Who knows?
Yeah. Good luck.
All right. And then the last one, I'll go for Knipple. Give me Knipple higher, 23.5 PRA.
On the road. Hey, Road Knipple.
Yeah, Road Knipple, 23.5 PRA.
Road Knipple is very good. His points are at 15.5. That sounds great. Points, rebounds, and assists. Where's it at?
By the way, Adam, I'm not on to Luis. He sent me screenshots on Instagram. I've seen the DraftKings screenshots of his futures. I'm not on to him. He literally just showed it to me.
Luka higher 33.5 points. Okongwu higher 23.5 points in rebounds. Knipple higher 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Add that on the Underdog. Shake it up. You're going to get 6x $100. Get $600 over there. Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. Scott, anything else for people before we get up out of here?
Yes, Lonte and I did hit the Underdog entry last episode. So
very good.
We didn't officially hit it until we were midway through. But Zion barely got there on points, and Porter Jr. flew over. So nice overall 3 pick.
There we go. Great job. With that, he's at Rush Radio. I'm at really real __. Make sure you give us a follow at SGPN NBA on X. We're also youtube.com/NBA Gambling Podcast. Like the video on your way out, comment, all of that stuff. Hey, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and then give us a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcast. It's super easy, just like that. With that, that is it. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. We are just